Out of all the aspects of the DC universe going forward under the supervision of James Gunn and Peter Safran, Matt Reeves' Batman universe seems to be the only thing that's being kept intact, not really being affected by anything, as stated in a Variety, or not Variety, rather a Collider article that came out yesterday, saying that Matt Reeves had intentions or had already met with James Gunn to talk about the future of the so-called Batverse, pertaining to Matt Reeves' vision for the Robert Pattinson Batman universe. And I just think, kind of speculating going forward on what I guess this universe could look like going forward, as due to different negotiations. As I think a while back, Matt Reeves had signed a multi-picture deal with Warner Brothers. So, regardless of what James Gunn's plans were, I don't think Matt Reeves is going to be affected in any way, shape, or form. Also, going to the fact that James Gunn himself debunked a statement from Variety that him and Safran were contemplating on the idea of implementing Robert Pattinson's Batman into the main universe, but James Gunn was quick to say, yeah, this is just straight up untrue. And having Matt Reeves' Batman being completely separate from the DC universe obviously gives him really much creative freedom and to do an aspect or version of the character that doesn't have to meddle with any outside forces or any supernatural elements of the DC universe. And it's just completely safe from any controversial or I guess convoluted, when it comes to either actors leaving or coming back or continuity mishaps. But I think it just looks really bright for the future for, I guess, the Batman character, as David Zaslav himself stated that the future of DC, the big focus point should be the Trinity, that being Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And the universe pertaining to the Batman has a lot of potential, and it could be one of the highlights or standpoints of the DC universe, generally speaking, if it's kind of like a multiverse thing where it's it just takes place on another Earth, or it's just completely separate otherwise. And Matt Reeves has a really big vision in expanding this universe and really creating, different stories and elements that all connect together, specifically with the Penguin show that I believe is shooting this year. That's supposed to stream on HBO Max and takes place right after the events of the Batman, and which would most likely pertain around Oswald Cobblepot kind of becoming more of a kingpin-like role for Gotham after the death of Carmine Falcone in the Batman movie. And Matt Reeves himself stated that the events of the Penguin series will have significant ramifications for the upcoming sequel, and as of right now, Matt Reeves is deep into writing the script for the Batman 2. Obviously there's a lot of fan speculation on whether it could be a kind of Mr. Freeze type story, because a lot of people, whenever they have their pitch for the Batman 2, they want to see Robin, considering the fact that we haven't had a Robin in live action since Batman and Robin, since last we had Dick Grayson or any of the Robins in a costume actually fighting alongside Batman. If I had to make a guess on it, we probably wouldn't see an actual Robin until maybe the third movie. I think the second movie would probably serve as more of a introductory role, maybe a post-credit scene where he goes to the circus, but who knows? We don't really know for sure what elements of the Batman mythos that Matt Reeves is going to really heavily lean on, whether it's other Bat family characters or villains. But with the idea of having several projects pertaining around villains is an interest of Matt Reeves, as there was a Hollywood Reporter article around October saying some of the future plans in the Batman universe under Matt Reeves, kind of like how the Penguin is having his own spin-off show on HBO Max. They're also contemplating with the idea of giving other projects to villains, ranging from was it Scarecrow, or it's Professor Pig. I think it could be a real cool opportunity, because instead of it being kind of a Joker scenario where it's the Joker has his own movie but it's not connected to anything, this time you could have different projects pertaining to villains, but there's an actual Batman that exists in this universe, which is contradictory to what Sony's doing, because Sony's doing the weird thing where they're having different solo movies pertaining or centered around Spider-Man villains, and they're building up a Sinister Six. But what is it building towards? There's no Spider-Man in this universe, as far as we know. They're not fighting Spider-Man or Peter Parker in any way. So why do they even exist? Why are they building a Sinister Six? Why are they making a Craven movie? We will never know. Cool element that could be added is just seeing Bruce Wayne, Batman's progression as both a hero in Gotham, as a symbol of hope, while also being more the philanthropist type role that we're used to seeing in both comics and different media. As in the first movie, he was a really kind of introverted, secluded person who wasn't really interested in helping people as Bruce Wayne. But then after his revelations in the movie, I guess we'll see that progression with him being more out there, that more playboy persona that Bruce Wayne is most well known for. And perhaps we'll probably see more, you know, I guess upgrades with the suit itself instead of it being more handmade. We might see a more technological advanced Batman. We could see Lucius Fox moving forward. And then with that, you see the introduction of different villains that require the more advanced upgrades of his arsenal and armory. And with villains, I'm assuming it wouldn't be villains that are too meta-human-like or too out there in terms of realism. I think that might be something the main DCU Batman with like the Justice League might go after. So I don't really think the Matt Reeves Batman will fight Clayface to some degree, or if he fights Poison Ivy, it probably won't be like the version that can like control plants, like as her like ability or whatever, but more like maybe Mr. Freeze in a more realistic setting, Joker, Riddler, Scarecrow, and all that. But with all this recent news, and we should be getting some more updates with James Gunn's universe, and I guess in the future as well as updates with the Batman 2 script and production on the Penguin series, it seems like the future for specifically the Batman characters looking pretty good so far.